Hey guys, Joe here and welcome to my channel Not So Average Joe. So the day's finally come, it's It Part 2. I'm really excited, It Chapter 2. I really loved the first film. I thought it was great the way it focused on the children and the experiences they were going through in their day-to-day life without Pennywise, and also their experiences with Pennywise and them having to overcome their fears of Pennywise himself, which is what caused them to put him away for 27 more years, or just overcoming their general fears about what's happening in their life. And I think the character interactions were amazing. I thought the actors were great. I would have loved to see a bit more of the adults in their lives, because the adults pretty much were, for the most part, the bad guys in part 1 and in the book as well, I suppose. So it'd be nice to see that on a much bigger scale in this new film. I do have one criticism of the It remake, the part 1 version, in which Bill Skarsgård's It, we didn't see enough of him. I mean, there's a slow build up in terms of, you know, hearing him and seeing bits of him, but we didn't really have enough interactions with the children, enough dialogue. But then again, we may see more of that in this next one, because we know the child actors are coming back as well as the adult actors, so you'll have more interactions between It and the children, as well as the children and maybe their parents, and together as a whole, as a group, and team bonding. But you'll also have them as adults going back to see Pennywise and to try and defeat him, as well as facing their fears, which have either increased or they've got new fears. As much as I prefer Tim Curry's version of Pennywise, the overall psychopathic, manipulative nature of his version, as well as, you know, his increased dialogue, you see him a lot more, his increased interactions with the children, and his overall creepiness. I do like Bill Skarsgård's version as well. Is a lot more, you know, screw loose basically. He's a lot more unhinged, but we don't see enough of him. So we'll see a lot more of him in this part 2 of the film, so-called franchise. It's part 1 and part 2, and hopefully there's no other ones. I want it to end here because that'll give a good wrap up to the book. I don't want to start a new series of Pennywise It films. That'll be a bit annoying for me. This second film should be a lot darker. It takes place when they're adults. They've got new fears as well as their current fears from children that have manifested and increased. They might have lost some of their fears, but some of their current fears will have become a lot worse. And as adults, you tend not to believe in these stories. And in a way, they might think, maybe this was just something I imagined as a child, but it's going to get a lot worse, people. And, well, let's just get straight into the trailer, I think, and I'll make my mind up from that trailer. I'm not going to watch any more trailers, I've decided, because I don't want to spoil it for myself. So this is the one trailer I'm watching before I watch the film, and then I'll be doing a review on the film. I'll make sure of it. Let's get straight into the trailer. Let's go.
Yes, can I help you?
I used to live here.
Won't you come in? It's the least I can do.
That's not creepy at all.
Remember?
Cleaner.
Well, you feel free to look around while I get the water boiling.
Your hair is winter fire.
How does she still have that? This old lady's a hoarder. Because she's Pennywise, look at that, that is scary. Oh!
There you go.
Jokey laugh there.
Now some music.
Jokey walk.
I do apologize. It gets so very hot here this time of year.
It's fine.
Well, you feel like you could just about die. But you know what they say about Derry? No one who dies here ever really dies.
Do they say that about Derry? This is creepy. Oh my god, there's not a jump scare or anything.
But tell me, how is it being back in Derry?
It's good. Strange.
It's horrible.
Strange? Oh my.
Ooh.
I had some cookies in the oven.
Just leave.
before
Just
you
leave
came.
now.
Stay right there.
I shouldn't impose. I'm gonna...
No, I insist.
Your photos are lovely, Miss Kirsch. Are these your family?
My father came to this country with $14 in his pocket.
What did he do, Mrs. Kirsch?
My father joined the circus.
Oh my god. Leave now. Just literally get out of there. Oh my god, she's in the corner. Her father's Pennywise. Is she naked?
was always Daddy's little girl.
Oh, that makes me feel
What
sick.
about you? Are you still his little girl, Beverly? Are you?
This meeting of the Losers Club has officially begun.
We can do this, but we have to stick together. Hello.
Wow. And the laugh at the end. That was pretty epic. That was amazing. Right, what can I say about that? So let's get started. I love that whole first half with the interactions between that old lady Pennywise and Jessica Chastain's character Beverly. So that was really interesting. I liked that a lot. And it was interesting. So all the characters, and it's, you know, it's only really shown that interaction really with Beverly, and you didn't see much of the others until, you know, the rest of the trailer, but only in brief glimpses. So just from that interaction with Beverly, all the characters are obviously going back, and they're going to recreate, you know, effectively their childhood. They're going back to remember what had happened and to reminisce about the past. And it's really interesting. She's going back to the house she used to live in. I'm guessing the others are going back to, you know, they'll go back to the sewers, they'll go back to their own old houses, etc., to try and piece together, you know, their childhoods. I thought it was really interesting. I knew straight away there was something wrong. She was really creepy the way she was speaking. That postcard again could have just been added there by Pennywise, or it really could have been left there after all that time. It's unlikely though at this point. And just the way she stared at Beverly and was just sitting there staring at her. And she's also reiterated Beverly's fear, which clearly she's brought into adulthood, her fear of her father and the way he treated her and abused her. Because if she wasn't still scared of that, then Pennywise wouldn't have brought it up. So she's had a fear that's manifested itself that she's really tried to keep it hidden, I'm guessing. She didn't just become not scared of her father one day. She kept it inside her head, in the back of her mind, so that she didn't have to think about it ever again. But it's come flooding back. And also from this trailer, you can see she's still scared of blood to a much bigger extent. By the looks of it, she's swimming in a pool of blood. And it's interesting that, you know, as children, your fears can manifest into adulthood much bigger, or they can just simply disappear. We've seen the fear of clowns, which is still there. All of them, though, have a collective fear of Pennywise. So, although at the end of the part one, they all got over their fears to defeat Pennywise, it doesn't mean it's coming back, not going to come back, because at the end of the day, they now realise they have to go back and possibly risk death again to defeat him, and it's going to make them scared of Pennywise again. Of course it is. And I like the way the Losers Club were looking through the window as adults, and they saw the reflections back as children. There's obviously going to be lots of flashbacks to them as children. It's going to be a lot darker. We only saw Pennywise, really, actually Pennywise, not this old woman, once at the end of that trailer. So it looks like he's going to kill another victim that's not related to them. Obviously, he's come back after 27 years, so there are going to be more victims to be had that aren't the Losers Club. The way that woman walked, you know, she did her little funny walk off and like her little penguin waddle, reminded me quite a lot of the old lady or the old couple from that M. Night Shyamalan film. I've forgotten what it's called now. You'll know which one I mean. You can mention it in the comments. And yeah, anyway, it reminded me quite a bit like that, you know, the old woman who's not who she seems, and she's walking around naked, and she's acting strangely like not what you would expect. I'm guessing the flies on the window might represent that she's also afraid of flies and insects now, but, you know, many adults are afraid of insects and moths and birds and heights and, you know, the usual stuff, so we expect to see quite a bit of that, the generic adult scares, the adult phobias. But overall, just the atmosphere, the feel of it, and much like what an It film should be, you know, like from the book, you've got a lot of sort of building up fear, a lot of dread and tension, and that's exactly what this film should be. Not loads of cheap jump scares. I think there's a couple of disappointing jump scares they had in part one, which I wasn't too keen on, as much as I love the film, but this looks like it's focusing more on the dread and the fears, which is exactly what the book represents, and I like that, and I'm really looking forward to this now. Like I said before, I'm only going to watch this one trailer. I'm not watching any of the other trailers because I don't want to spoil any of the film for me inadvertently. And I definitely will be doing a review for this film as well. And I love the music. The music for this is amazing. I love the direction of part 1. So as it's the same director, I expect it to be great. And it will wrap up the book nicely. And it'd be nice to see some other flashbacks. I know of another big flashback that was filmed for the previous film, but they decided not to use it, and they're using it for this film instead. Not saying what it is, just in case you don't know. And they're using some other footage from the previous film, the deleted scenes, cut scenes, which they're going to use in this one as well. So yeah, I cannot wait. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this film, and all I can say is go and watch it, and we can chat about it together when I put my review forward. So thank you for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe. Come back on Monday for my Game of Thrones review. It's episode 5. It's going to be a big one. Join me back for some trailer reactions, some film reviews, TV show reactions, and also some live gaming. And yeah, make sure you come back, and I'll see you on the next video.